My name is David Gay-Perret. I was born and raised in France, but I've lived the last 10 years in Sweden, and I actually got the Swedish citizenship as well. So today I'm French-Swedish. I came to Japan in March 2020, so it's been like 4 months and a half that I'm here. I work as a freelancer, mostly in voice acting. Well, I came to Japan because I was here last year as a tourist, and I met some really amazing people, some guides who showed us around. And then I got back to Sweden, and different things happened, and I decided that, okay, I'm tired of Sweden, I want to go somewhere else. And since I had those contacts in Japan, I got in touch with them, and I said, if I come to Japan, will you guys help me to meet people, to make friends and get life started? And they say, yeah, sure. So I came 1 month between November and December to test out, so meet more people, see how life is, and it worked so well that when I got back to France for Christmas, I got the working holiday visa, and then I moved to Japan in March to be with these people and have a good time. So right now I'm a freelancer voice artist. I also do a bit of translation on the side, but most of my activity is actually voice acting and narration. With a company registered in Sweden for now, but I can work basically anywhere I want in the world. So currently I'm based in Japan, and I can do my recordings in Japan. I keep in touch via email and Zoom and things like that with my customers. So, my hometown is in France. It's in the mountains, in the Alps. It's very famous for an animation film festival, international animation film festival. We had some pretty big guests, such as Hayao Miyazaki, actually, who came to my hometown a couple of years ago, and other people like Tim Burton and people like that. So since I'm a kid, I've seen animation and I've been in that world. And I really like the acting, the voice acting, and I always thought it would be so fun to have my voice on those characters or video games or whatever. And then back in Sweden, I met some people who were looking for a French voice. They needed somebody who could speak French, and they told me, do you know voice acting and stuff? And it turns out that when I was a teenager, I did some music composition, so I knew sound and I knew that field, even though I had not done precisely voice recording, but I did some movies, I did some stuff like that. So they said, well, sure, let's give it a shot, So I went to the studio, recorded 2-3 takes, and they were really impressed, and they told me, I think you're pretty good with this. And then from there, since I really liked it and I always thought about it, I thought, well, this is my chance, now that I got that first experience, I'm gonna contact other companies, introduce myself as a voice actor or somebody who can record. And then from there, you get one job, you get another job, and then it gets easier and easier. You have more and more experience. And now I have a regular flow of work coming in. And of course, I'm always looking for new customers all the time. But now I have experience and I have demos and everything. So the difference of work between France, Sweden and Japan. First, I haven't worked so much in France because I left when I was rather young. I was just 20. So I know how things work in Sweden a lot, but France is more like my childhood. I don't really understand the business world. So I would say that one of the main differences is where do you find work, basically. And in Japan, you have talent agencies, for instance, that do a whole bunch of stuff. They do voice acting, they do acting, they do modeling, they do singing, well, you name it. And this does not really exist in Europe. You have one agency for modeling, one agency for this, for that, including some for voice acting. They do exist. So here it was already a little bit of a surprise. I basically contacted them for voice acting, and then they told me, do you want to do modeling and acting and everything? Yeah, sure, why not? Even though voice acting is my thing. So that was interesting. And then in Europe, you find a lot of studios who actually have their voice rosters. They have voices in different languages. So if their customer comes and say, I want this or that, they can provide it. But here, it's very seldom the case. It's usually agencies and some voice agencies as well who focus on voice acting, but not the studios themselves. And then the last difference, perhaps, is the fact that home studios in Europe and in North America are very common. Most people who are serious about voice acting today, they actually have a home studio. But in Japan, many people don't really know what that is, or they don't really think you can get the same quality. So that's also a struggle. Since I'm based in Kyoto, and 99.9% of the jobs are in Tokyo, I can of course travel, but it's expensive. So I always promote this home studio thing. And some companies, they don't understand, they don't want to talk about it. Some companies, they're like, oh yeah, what's that? Can you send us some examples or demos and things? And usually they're pretty impressed. They say, the sound is pretty good. Yeah, well, yeah, that's a professional home studio. So that's interesting. And the coronavirus has made it even more interesting because more and more companies are like, well, you know, it's a little bit tricky to meet in a studio and closed environments and everything. So home studio is probably an alternative. So I think it's going to pick up in the coming years, but we'll see. So those are like the main differences I've seen in Japan so far. So the plans in Japan and whether to stay. Right now I don't really know if I want to stay in Japan. Visa is always the issue. So right now, like I said, I'm on a working holiday visa, which is 1 year. I have one opportunity, which is the startup visa, which is brand new. It's a brand new thing for business owners. So I will probably give it a shot, see if it works or not. Which gives an extra year. Then beyond that, you need the investor visa, which is expensive and messy, and I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet. So for now, I'm gonna try, find as many customers as I can in Japan. I started to find some companies. There's not so much work in French. There is some in English, and some companies ask me to record a show reel in Japanese as well, because there might be some work in Japanese with a foreign accent. So I'm gonna try, I need to see if it works or not. I think it's more like staying in Japan is more a consequence of the rest. If I get a lot of work, if various things happen, then yeah, sure, why going away? It's complicated, it's messy when you move around. So I'd rather stay here with my friends and my life if it works. But if other projects come up or other people or something, then I might go away. Or if the visa doesn't work, then I'll have to leave anyway. So yeah, I'm in between a little bit right now. So my advice for people who want to come to Japan for a long time, not like tourists, is you need a network. So you need to meet local people and Japanese, of course, but also foreigners who have been here for a while, because these people, they will help you with visa questions, they will help you to find the good restaurants, they will help you to meet more friends and expand your social network. And if you're serious about staying, that's the kind of people you need to rely on. People who come here and go, they're good friends, but you can't really rely on them to help you build a life here. Then again, if you're here for fun and stuff, it's completely fine. But I think network, the people you know, that's really how you're going to unlock job opportunities. That's how you're gonna meet friends and everything. So that's really the way to go. So yeah, if you want to know more about what I'm doing, if you need a good voice actor, have a look at my website, so www.gayperret.com. It's probably in the description anyway. And I'll see you guys in Japan. Thanks for watching.